Hey everybody, this is Tatyana Sturm with the Storck Team. I have Cody from Top to Bottom Inspections. He's worked with me. Actually, you came on board with my team this year, or was it last year? I'm trying to
I think it
remember.
was early last year.
Okay, we actually met at the gym, of all places. But the reason why I brought him on is so that he could go over 3 things that you can do now to your home to get it ready for colder weather, get it ready for fall season. And actually, we're going to do a couple of these short videos coming up over the next few weeks just to make sure that, like I said, as we head into the colder months, that your home is prepared for the fall season. So, Cody, why don't you give a little intro on yourself, and let's just head into these 3 things that you wanted to talk to people about.
Absolutely. Yep. My name is Cody Colglazier. I'm owner and operator of Top to Bottom Home Inspections. I live in Southeast Aurora, but service all the Denver metro area and surrounding areas. I do have a 12-year-old son and a 10-year-old daughter. Luckily, we're in the Cherry Creek School District, so school has got to go back, and they are enjoying some normalcy with everything going on right now. I wanted to touch on a few items that we can go over for fall maintenance tips. There will definitely be some more, like Tatyana said. We're going to be going over some other items here in the future, but these are some of the 3 easy items that we can start off with to get your house ready for the colder weather and get it going. The first item that I wanted to discuss was cleaning your gutters. One of the easier things we can do to make sure that we are draining moisture away from our foundation and all that rain and snow that we are going to get over the next few months will all drain away. First thing I wanted to go over when talking about cleaning out your gutters is definitely ladder safety. You always want to let someone know, spouse, neighbor, friend, anybody know that when you're on your roof or ladder, just give somebody a heads up. So if there are any unfortunate mistakes, somebody will know where you are and how to help you.
Don't wait till you're already on the roof to ask for help, because my husband did that.
Did he? So
yeah.
One thing that I do is I actually have an Apple Watch that has a fall detection sensor on it. So a lot of the new technology and smartwatches that people are using, if there is a big impact on your body, it will actually send a message to whoever you have as your emergency contact. And then if you don't respond to that, it will also contact emergency services. So I always recommend use your Apple Watches, your smartwatches, very cool features. Biggest thing that I do at my house when I am cleaning my gutters is I really like to use a plastic spatula. So when I get up on the side and I'm cleaning out all those leaves, I like to use a plastic spatula to scrape out the bottom of the gutter just so I'm not doing any damage to the guttering system and I'm getting everything out. I also like to bring a 5-gallon bucket up on the ladder with me so I can catch all the leaves and debris so I'm not picking everything up off the ground. Another big helpful thing that I've used is a garden hose that has a pistol grip. You can still have one hand available to hold onto the ladder and hold your safety, but you can use that pistol gripped hose handle to blow out and wash out all of the debris and make sure that the downspout extensions are all cleaned out. I like to go to the corners of my houses and spray down the edge of all of those so I can make sure all the drainage is going away from those downspouts and flowing away from the house. After I do this video too, I was telling some family members about that. I think I've got a honey-do list for grandmothers and aunts and friends I'm getting to clean some gutters. So Tatyana, you have put me to work more after this video as well.
Good. And one thing too, I wanted to just touch on the gutters and that I've seen is, it's amazing. When I go to homes that I'm working with the sellers on listing homes, I mean, if you have trees that are close to your house, especially pine trees, you should be cleaning out your gutters at least a couple times a year, because every time I go I go to a house that I see it overflowing.
Yeah.
And I always ask them, when's the last time you cleaned your gutters? And they're like, so that is going to prevent a lot of, like you said, overflowing, water damage. One thing too is if somebody didn't clean out their gutters and a lot of debris was going through the gutters and down the downspouts that are contained, right? What do you do to unclog those?
So there's been times if it's too much of a clog up, you're actually going to have to take the anchoring screws off and pull those elbows apart and get the debris out of there. If it's been years and years that it hasn't been cleaned out, we're going to have to pull those connections off and actually clean them out. I got a new roof put on my house last year, and I actually had to do that because some of the roofing debris and materials went in there. Another thing I wanted to touch on is if you're in a newer property, you may not have trees overhanging your house, but you may have some granular loss, which is completely normal from the new roof shingles that were put on. And that is also something that can corrode in the bottom of that guttering system. So you're going to definitely want, even if you don't have trees, I recommend getting up and looking in those gutters to make sure there's been no roofing debris. I have, like I said, 2 small kids. We find tennis balls in downspout extensions. My daughter somehow got Pokemon cards up in our gutters. So there's definitely lots of stuff that can go out there other than trees. And you do want to trim those tree limbs back from the top of your house as well. If we don't have any overhang happening over our property, the possibility of getting debris stuck in there is a whole lot less.
Okay, no, those are all good points. Let's go to the next one.
Absolutely. So the next thing I would recommend is definitely smoke detector and carbon monoxide detector maintenance. We have daylight savings time coming up here in November again. You're supposed to change your batteries every 6 months on your smoke detector and carbon monoxide detector, regardless of functionality. There have been some unfortunate instances where even if you have hardwired smoke detectors, that fires can take out electrical systems, which in turn make it to where your fire detector is not going to beep. So that's why you need that battery backup. One of the biggest things that I talk to my clients about is just rather than trying to remember all that scheduling, keep your 9-volt batteries at the house. And when you change our clocks for daylight savings, that's another great time to go through and change all the batteries on those smoke detectors. Nobody likes to be that, you know, and it seems like the smoke detectors only go off at the nighttime.
Right, middle of the night, yeah. No, but that's actually a good tip. Daylight savings time, yeah. If you just get into the habit of doing that.
So it gives us a good time to, one, not have to remember because we all have enough on our plates as it is. But when we go to change those clocks, I always love when the clocks fall back. Can't say that I love when they spring forward. Not my favorite day of the year.
Well, at least we'll be falling back this year, right?
At least we'll be falling back.
Pretty soon.
But it's nice to do it at those times because we're not being, you know, that secret ninja creeping around the house at nighttime trying to figure out where the smoke detectors. I've definitely had some carbon monoxide detectors in low areas in my property that I didn't know they were beeping. So I kept changing batteries on smoke detectors. Lo and behold, it was the carbon monoxide detector that's behind a laundry hamper or something like that. So you definitely want to replace all those at the same time.
Okay. And then let's go to the next one. And always these are good reminders. Some people are really good about this. Some people, so, I come to some sellers and they're not. But, the furnace, obviously, it's going to be getting colder. So people are going to be starting to use their furnace if they probably already have with that little winter spell we had in September. So let's talk about that.
Yeah, furnace filters are a big one that people need to stay on top of. I always recommend to all my clients during inspections that once you figure out the size that you need, especially if you're in a new property to you, go to Costco or Sam's Club and buy that big pack so it's not something you have to think about. You don't want to realize it's dirty and then have to go to the store and it just causes
a snowstorm.
Exactly. And then it causes another couple of weeks potentially that it doesn't happen because you don't always get to go to the store. So definitely having multiple filters on hand is helpful. You should always check your filter monthly though. Depending on the filter you have, if it's a little thinner, you're going to change it more often. If it's thicker, not as much, but you're always going to want to check your furnace filters each month. Pull it out, hold it up to the light, and ensure that you can see. If you can't see through it, it's too dirty and you're going to want to change it up. But there's many, many costly repairs that can be avoided with regular furnace changing. There's a lot of inexpensive filters out there, like I said, that you can change more often. You can spend a little more. I always recommend getting the mid-grade furnace filters that you don't have to change. You can maybe buy yourself a few extra days. But I've dealt with tons of families that have had furnaces that have to be repaired or replaced just after 3 or 4 years because they weren't properly changing those furnace filters. Another big recommendation is there's always an airflow arrow on that furnace filter. You always want that arrow to be pointing towards the furnace blower motor itself. So you have your return air duct. You want that arrow to be blowing towards the motor so it can catch as much debris as possible. If your arrow's flowing the wrong way, your furnace filter is not going to be catching as much as it can.
And that's, in all these things that we talk about, just this regular maintenance is really does, in the long run, can save you more money as a homeowner. just
It does.
doing these small things, because a furnace is, you know, $3, $4, $5,000, I guess, depending on the size and all that. So by making sure that you're regularly changing your furnace filters, I mean, I think it's good anyways, just, because so much air gets pushed through there. But I mean, to extend the life of a furnace, I mean, you should be able to get at least 20 years out of one.
You should, if not more, yeah. And
Right.
if you're getting routine service and making sure all those coils are staying clean, you can really increase the life longevity of that furnace. And like you said, yeah, get 20, if not more, years out of it.
All right. Well, these are great tips. They're all quick tips. I appreciate your time, and I look forward to talking to you next time about some other things that people, out there can do to their home and get it ready for the colder weather. Anything else, Cody, that you want to?
No, next time we'll be talking about sprinkler systems and hose bibs. So we'll get it all
every house I sell has a busted hose bib.
Does it?
Oh, yes.
It seems like and it's always the back one for some reason. I don't know why the front ones never want to leak, but
I know. So, all right, Cody. Well, thank you for your time, and I will see you soon.
I will see you soon. Have a good day.
You too. Bye.